Welcome to version 2 of my animation helper. I've kept the original animation helper in there in case you already used it, but this animation helper is an animation helper with a number 2 after it here. And I just did that because if anybody's using it, I certainly did in a couple of projects. I didn't want to destroy their code. I just wanted to add something new. In the previous version, if you wanted to do an attack, you had to type the attack name here. Now you just drag the clip over here, and like there's all kinds of attacks that came in from online. There's a site MAXIMO. You can download those animations if you want. They're not included here, and you can just drag the clips over. You don't have to drag the whole animation over. You just drag the clip that you want, and it'll do that. Like here, I'll be clipping or unarmed attack 1, right? And if I were to go into the player animation, and you'll see here that I have unarmed attack, several of them in here. The sequence is not checked, so it'll do one of these randomly. You can have 1 in here, you can have 0 in here, you can have a bunch in here. If it's a sequence, let me do this with magic. I don't actually have a magic example, but let's see, magic starts with an M. Spell. It's called spell, if I could find it. Cast a spell. Here we go. It's not in alphabetical order. All right. So here I can do the spell. All right. So it has a spell start, which by itself doesn't look like much. It has the spell cast animation clip, and it has an end. And in this case, for player, we go back down here to the not alphabetized. Maybe I can fix that. Cast a spell. I think it used to be called spell, and that's why it's still stuck here. I check the sequence, and it'll run the first one, the second one, and the third one, and in sequence. And so if you, however your game does it, says spell, then you just invoke the spell method, in the clip, and it will do the spell for you. So you can set it up graphically and then just say do it. For basic controller movement, if you press forward with the W key or the Xbox controller or your Oculus controller or whatever, the player control software will notice that it's going forward. It's tied to the animation controller, and it'll start walking. And if you do whatever your game does to make it run, and it sends the run thing, I'm running, the animation will start running. So although you will care about the animation, you won't have to do the nitty-gritty detail every time. And this list here is in the source code. Just add to the list and do it. And then you can create a delegate. So not only when the player starts walking does it tell the animation to start walking, it sends you can register for a delegate to say when the player is walking, receive the walking delegate. And there's I think there's one for every one of these and some other things in there. And it'll tell you the direction they're walking. It'll tell you all kinds of things, the amount of time they're idle. And if you don't want to register or don't need those particular things in your game, don't register to receive those delegate calls. And that's, in a nutshell, what Animation Helper number 2 does.